Understanding the Kinetic Drive Vehicle Propulsion System, Part 3. Welcome back. If you haven't viewed our KD Understanding Part 1 video, I recommend doing that at some point. Part 1 will give you the necessary basics of the Kinetic Drive system. Here in KD Understanding Part 3, we compare EV and hybrid regenerative braking with Kinetic Drives version. Both systems' primary objective is to capture a vehicle's momentum during braking. This captured energy would be then available for reuse during vehicle acceleration. The main difference is EV and hybrid regenerative braking systems store the captured energy in chemical batteries, while the kinetic drive system captures this energy in a mechanical battery. I'm going to try to keep this video short and to the point. Our next KD Understanding video will discuss the massive advantages the kinetic drive has to offer concerning stop and go driving. For regenerative braking, it's important to understand the difference lies in the number of energy conversions each system is required to perform and the power handling capacity of each component. With a basic understanding of both systems, the differences will be obvious. For an EV or a hybrid, the energy conversion steps are as follows. First, slowing the vehicle down requires negative torque to be applied to the axles. This is carried out by an electric generator where the device applies resistance to the axles, in turn producing electricity. This electricity is fed into a controller to condition the electrical power to charge a battery, and the battery converts this electrical energy into chemical energy. To accelerate with this stored energy, it must follow the reverse steps, that is, chemical to electric within the battery. The electric from battery output is conditioned through a controller for an electric motor, and the motor applies positive torque to the axles. We will discuss issues with the above method. But first, let's see how the kinetic drive stores and uses this energy. The negative torque applied to the axles for braking is performed by mechanically changing the gear ratio between the axle and our mechanical battery, a flywheel in this example. The change in gear ratio spins up the flywheel, just like how the engine is revved faster when downshifting. It's just that simple. To accelerate the vehicle using the flywheel's stored energy, just change the gear ratio so the flywheel applies positive torque to the axle. The first thing you should notice is that the EV and hybrid models require 6 energy conversions for a round trip, that is, mechanical to electric, to conditioned electric, to chemical, and back again. Where the kinetic drive solution never converts its energy out of the mechanical realm, that is, mechanical to mechanical and vice versa for acceleration. The second aspect to understand is a battery charges slowly, so if you're not taking a long time to brake, you don't have a chance to store much energy. In contrast, you can spin the flywheel up as fast as you like, capturing even the most violent braking events. Third, to quickly stop a vehicle going 60 miles per hour requires over 650 kilowatts. A regenerative system's stopping power is directly proportional to the component that is the weakest link in the energy conversion chain. For an EV or hybrid, this would be the battery. While EV and hybrids have many weak links in their chain, I would expect the battery charge rate to be the biggest. For the kinetic drive, if the gears can handle around 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, we are golden. Fourth, the complexity and corresponding cost between the two systems is massively different. Without going into details here, the kinetic drive is clearly the winner with a considerably simpler and a more cost-effective solution. Also, batteries are expensive and don't do well in very hot or cold environments. The kinetic drive system could care less about temperature extremes. Finally, for you racing enthusiasts, if a kinetic drive can capture this type of massive horsepower, it can also deliver it. This may give you a little insight why the so-called car guy had nothing to do with us at the 2023 Dallas Car Show, even though he was broadcasting only 25 feet away from our booth, and several attendees told him he really needs to look at what we had. Oh well, back then they were really pushing EV, and now it's hybrids. Like I mentioned, the next video will cover the differences in stop-and-go driving for conventional EV and hybrids when compared to a kinetic drive. This will really turn everything upside down. You're not going to want to miss that one. That's enough for now. Please keep an open mind. I understand change is not always easy or welcome, but let's all stay positive. Thanks, Ray.